Guten Morgen, meine Damen und Herren. Bitte finden Sie Ihren Platz.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. If you can take your seats so we can make a start.
Also, guten Morgen. Mein Name ist Jens Rode.
Good morning, I'm Jens Roder. I'm a Danish member for the ALDE group and Vice Chairman of the Industry Committee. I've been very much looking forward to this morning because there's some very important policy presentations to say how politicians deal with the spectrum and frequency question. It's very important not just for industry but for Europe's social development as well, because though the questions of the digital agenda seem to be very technical ones, it's a question of improving distribution of content to make content more widespread. As a media politician in Denmark and as managing director of a media company, I've looked at this question intensively over 12 years, and looking at this left me very much on my own because politically too little attention was paid to the matter by national parliaments. So it's of particular import to have a commissioner for the digital agenda, and as a Liberal I'm particularly pleased that we have a commissioner with a good track record in competition problems, because in my country the state is sort of squattered on the entire spectrum, and I'm sure we've got a very interesting morning. And I've started this in German because I'd like to welcome my first speaker, who is a colleague I've had splendid presentation with, who is ambitious, serious and good-humoured in his work, and I have a great deal of esteem of him for that. So it's the chairman of the ITRE committee in the European Parliament, Herbert Royal. You have the floor, Herr Royal. Thank you. Thank you very much. And rarely in the European Parliament have I had such a pleasant introduction, and in my own mother tongue. I'm almost sobbing here. I'm not going to make a big keynote presentation of my own. I'm just going to introduce you to today's work. Yesterday there were a lot of speeches, and thankfully I had a lot of them about the social, employment and media challenges facing us, as the chair has said, and now we're discussing how specific legislative framework bills can be couched to reflect our decisions. The first frequency policy programme will be based on the use of the digital agenda, using up the areas of frequency made available. And as member states dealt with this separately, people are affected in different ways, but the focus has to be the importance of UHF as a public and economic good, as people often said yesterday. So deciding on the future frequency programme can take place only if you're fairly certain about the chances and risks of new business models and technologies, and we shouldn't establish the framework too early. A lot of people talked yesterday about openness, of reversibility, of repeatability, and in the future, frequency requires political stability but flexibility as well. So I would agree with a lot of yesterday's speakers that after a certain amount of time we'll have to look at the actual use of frequencies after they've been distributed to reassess things. Best possible use of economic potential of goods and the internal market with safe planning and competition that is required to get decent coordination, because this can only be successful if we overcome problems of migration and interference. Some stakeholders yesterday did say that they see different speeds and want to avoid different speeds in moving to the digital agenda. And obviously the use of technology has to be related to use by the customer. So distribution of frequency should be also based on development of broadband frequency. The satellite users stress the technical importance of the options available. A frequency policy will help new services have a better range for their